Yeah,
you been?
ideally, you want to check with the Google developer pages whenever it comes to schema and see what they say, because
they have some pretty stupid rules.
It's really the source of information about what gets displayed on Google when it comes to rich snippets and structured data. So like speakable markup got offered 9 months before it was approved of in schema.org by Google for use only with news sites as a beta, because they were so excited about offering schema, offering speakable schema, that they couldn't even wait for schema.org to approve of it completely. So it was out 9 months early there.
You gonna start her up, Dave?
It sounds like you're talking about schema. Did I miss the start of any talks about this recent update?
No, we were talking about a new patent application I came across this morning on podcast and audio.
Okay.
I haven't read through the whole thing yet, so I can't answer too many questions about it.
Oh, interesting.
But we were talking about schema markup and event markup for podcasts and for videos.
Yeah, there's so much more with that now.
We do know some information about that.
Fantastic. Yeah, I saw something about it last year when they introduced it in the rich cards section.
Right. And I was saying, if you're going to implement schema, you want to look at the Google developer pages first.
Okay.
Because Google's explaining all their rules for implementation there, rather than on the schema site. Even though they have people in charge of schema from Google, like Dan Brickley, he's the head of schema for Google. And Google sort of started schema.org.
If you look at event schema, Bill, it requires a picture, right? On the Google development page, it requires a picture. However, you're not required to use a picture with schema.
Right. So Google is telling you what they want to see if they're going to display stuff in Google search results.
And they don't give you an error on that either when you test it on their site. That is not an error. However, it is for them.
It's not an error in the structured data markup tool?
They call it a warning, but it might as well be a error.
Because they're not displaying it in results if you don't have pictures.
Yeah, I was talking about that with somebody the other day, the difference between a warning and an error in that regard. And I'm suspicious that, somebody just posted, I think it was yesterday, that Google says now, again, that structured data has no impact whatsoever on ranking.
Bullshit.
And I'm calling bullshit on that too.
That was taken out of context so badly that the headline.
Wow, somebody reported something in this industry and it was out of context. Oh, that's
credibility issue.
That's new. Wow.
Dave, I got to get used to that short hair. I don't know. It's
I know, man.
Good, looking good.
Almost a year now.
Almost a year. Cooking site, and she's posting recipes. And she complained about not wanting to post calories because she wanted to be diet independent. She didn't want to. She wanted to offer recipes where people weren't necessarily concerned about how much calories everything has. So she wasn't posting calories. And she got upset because she thought that if she didn't post calories, her recipe markup wouldn't show up. Her recipes wouldn't show up in Google search results because there was, I guess, a warning showing with the lack of calories. And Danny Sullivan responded, "Don't worry about those. Schema isn't going to influence how things are."
Yeah, but they say that to everything. Don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt you. Well, a whole bunch of little cuts eventually you'll fucking bleed to death at some point.
But I was explaining the context of that statement.
Yeah, context is always important with any statement from Google.
Right. So if you use markup, it could affect rankings, not necessarily showing calories on recipes.
See, for me, if I get an error, a warning, to me, I call that an error, because that's going to screw you. If they call, I had a whole bunch, Bill, that were, they were giving me a warning, but they were displaying them, they were using them fine. And then all of a sudden, about maybe roughly a year ago, just after they did the cleanup where they actually penalized sites, they stopped all those ones that had warnings. They removed not just the page, not put the scheme in, they quit putting the page in. Lost rank is what I'm saying. Like, it was almost like, oh, we're going to penalize these pages now, and we're talking months of trying to get them out of that and couldn't do it.
But even going beyond that, I think that it's just anything that is going to help the algorithms understand what the page is about. If the page is reasonably well built, it should help your rankings. It'll at least affect rankings. If it helps them understand the context of your page, how could it not affect ranking?
But again, or even visibility. You know what I mean? If it's getting you into the people also ask, or if it's getting you into Google Discover, or you know what I mean? There's other things that just create further visibility that's going to give you not necessarily like a direct ranking boost on a given term, but it just can give the page or the site more visibility overall.